أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن استنى بسنته إلى يوم الدين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brothers and sisters. Alhamdulillah, we start by praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and we send our salam and salawat on Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive our sins and shortcomings and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept this time and efforts that all of us are trying to give for the sake of Allah to learn the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as good deed and inshallah ta'ala forgive us in this world and in the akhirah inshallah ta'ala. Alhamdulillah, we'll be starting our week 2 today, inshallah. So we have done our week 1, and I believe most of you have joined the WhatsApp group because within a couple of weeks' time or so, I'll be trying to send all the information, exercise, and homework link and recorded video all in the WhatsApp instead of the email. Because when email, I have email of a lot of people because a lot of people has registered, but not everybody is attending the session, so there's no point sending them the email. So I would request all of you who are attended last week and who are attending this week, please check my email. And if you're not in the WhatsApp group, please just click the link and become a member of that WhatsApp group so that we can communicate, inshallah. Okay, so the plan for today, we have 1 hour, inshallah, in our hand. We'll be doing a quick review of what we have done in the first week. Then we'll go to our exercise. I have shared a link of exercise with simple exercise. So we'll discuss that a little bit so that our concept is clear. And then, inshallah, in the last part of the session, we'll start our new lesson today, okay, which is related to what we done last week. So without further ado, let's begin our slides, inshallah. And I am recording these sessions. So we can just review that, first of all, we have to review our intention every time we do this one, that we are doing it for the sake of Allah. There's no worldly benefit in doing this course, except for that you understand the Quran, and that is also a spiritual part of it, okay? You're not getting a degree or a certificate, okay? So this is only we're doing it to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala record this time and the efforts that we're giving in the hereafter, inshallah ta'ala. So this works for us as a sadaqah jariyah for our own self, that it is something that the time and effort that we're giving, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept it, and it's only to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and come close to the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Always we want to remember that the two things that we need to get benefited from the course is patience and commitment. If you really want to get something good out of this course, the 1 hour that we're giving every week, you please make sure that you committed to the time and you come and join the session. So and listen and try to do the simple exercise and something that I share. So inshallah, then Allah will make it easy for you. And the last but not the least, that we learn and we teach. Okay, we learn and we teach. So whatever you learn, if you have your spouse or friends or family, okay, whatever little you learn, try to encourage them, try to share what you learn, and this is the best way to so that you can remember the things, inshallah ta'ala. So what we did in the first lesson, we did only one big lesson. That is that there are only three kinds of words in Arabic, and we had the definition: ism, fail, and harf. And ism it could be a person, place, pronoun, thing, idea, adjective, adverb, and more. And then we have fail is very similar to the verb, and we say we're going to talk about fail after we finish half of this course. We just know the definition of the fail now, which is very similar to the verb, something that is happening in the past or happening in the present or in the future, a real action, a real something that you're doing, that is called fail. Okay, and harf is very similar to the English preposition. Okay, it doesn't make any sense by itself. It has a meaning. The word has a meaning, the harf has a meaning, but it doesn't make any sense unless there's a word after it. Okay, and in harf, as I mentioned last week, it's like a side dish. Okay, so it will be there with when you learn ism, and it will be also there when you learn fail. Okay, so because it can't make any sense by itself, so that's why it's not separated, right? It's either comes with ism and comes with fail. Okay, so we learn as we go through learning the isms, inshallah ta'ala, we'll learn some of the harf, and then when you go to learn about the fail, we're going to learn more of the harf, inshallah ta'ala. Okay, then after this lesson, we did that, we're going to talk about ism almost for the half of this course, right? Almost for the next 15 to 20 weeks times, right? So the first lesson of ism, every ism has 4 properties, okay? Status, number, gender, and type. Okay, these are the 4 properties. And if you want to remember that, like just like a normal car has 4 wheels. So an ism has 4 properties. Every ism has 4 properties: status, number, gender, and type. What each of these mean, that is our goal for the next few weeks. What does status mean? How can we find the status? What does number mean? What does gender mean? What does type mean? This is our goal for the next few weeks. And if you understand these 4 things, if you really understand these 4 things, and after we finish all these 4, we'll have a bigger assignment. Okay, if you can do that assignment properly, then inshallah ta'ala, I would say at least 30 to 40% of the course is under your grab, inshallah ta'ala, and you will have full control on that part. So this is very important that we understand ism, because when you're going to talk about fail, same will be still there. We have to remember this lesson. So this is the foundation of the foundation course, the foundation of the basic course. So please make sure that you understand each of these lessons that's coming in the next few weeks, inshallah ta'ala. Okay, and we also talked about that how we're going to identify ism, fail, and harf. So there are few, very few clues here. For example, any word that has tanween, meaning double fatha, double kasra, double dhamma, that you find in the Quran, these are 99% time it is ism. Okay, there are 1 or 2 exceptions. Okay, and we said we're going to talk about those exceptions later. Okay, any word that starts with al is an ism, and al actually is a harf. Okay, al means da. The Arabic al means da, T-H-E, da. Okay, like this is the house. Okay, da, or the book is heavy. Okay, so this al means da, and al is a harf, but this is a special kind of harf. It can come, it mostly comes with ism, because whenever you see a word starting with al, definitely it's an ism. Okay, and it has its own meaning. Okay, but it has no other power. The only thing it does, it has its own meaning, and it gives you the clue that the word that is attached with is an ism. And and we're going to talk about a little bit more in in the future lessons, inshallah ta'ala. But for now, this is our first harf also. The al by itself, if I say da, doesn't make any sense, right? If I say da book, then it makes at least some sense that I'm talking about the book, right? So we're going to talk about al a little bit more in the future lesson, but for now, if you see any word with al, then that's an ism. Okay, harf, there are some harfs will be coming up very soon. We're going to memorize those. And fail, we can say that fail has never al or tanween in most cases, and we're going to talk about fail later in the course. Please follow the pattern. We'll learn soon, inshallah ta'ala. Fail follows the pattern, and as we go through, we'll learn some of the vocabulary, and I'll tell you that these are the vocabulary that you should memorize or should remember or make your own note. Okay, and of course there are many words in the Quran. We don't need to learn all of them. We don't need to memorize all of them. We need to know how the words work with each other, and that will help us, inshallah ta'ala, to understand that. Okay, so if we summarize the thing, and so after that we talked about the status. We started talking about the status, and we say what is the status. Do we give you some English example? And status could be of 3 types, okay, or 3 kinds. Okay, rafa, nasab, and jar. Rafa is a doer. Okay, so the exercise was based on that, and we're going to talk about the exercise so it will be more clear. Okay, so rafa means when an ism is doing something in the sentence, then it's a doer. Sometimes the sentence could be no action, it's just a statement. Okay, so the house is big, there's no action in this one, I'm just saying something, right? So even in that kind of situation, if there's no reason, no action, then by default the status is rafa. If there is an action in the sentence, if there's an action, meaning a verb in the sentence, and if you can ask some question, how did this happen? Why did this happen? Where did it happen? Those details, information about the fail or about the action is called nasab. And if you see any 2 words that has a relationship of meaning one belongs to the other, okay, and then it's a status is jar. And we'll see more and more example, okay, of these 3 types of status. Okay, and then we'll understand, inshallah ta'ala. Okay, so these are the definition here, as you can see here, and we have the exercise. So just to summarize our lesson 1, we say that in the Arabic of the Quran, okay, there are 3 kinds of words that we know: ism, fail, and harf. Okay, so far we know this part. Okay, and we know the definition of ism, the example of some of the ism. Ism could be name, person, place, adjective, adverb. Okay, all these things. Fail is very similar to verb. Okay, and harf we talked about, very similar to prepositions, right? And then we talked about there are 4 properties of an ism. Every ism has 4 properties. Okay, what are these properties? Status, number, gender, and type. Okay, And we started talking about status. Status hasn't finished. We just started. We're going to talk more about status this week and probably the next 2 weeks also, inshallah. Okay. So there are 3 forms of status, and they're Rafa, Nasab, and Jar. So this slide that you're looking at now, this is, as you can see, the summary of our lesson 1 or week 1 that we did last Wednesday, inshallah. Right. So 3 kinds of words: ism, fi'l, and harf. Every ism has 4 properties. What are those properties? Status, number, gender, and type. And status could be of 3 kinds: Rafa, meaning the doer; Nasab, meaning the detail; and Jar is something that comes after the of. Okay. I think this was the week 1 lesson. So now I think it's this time that I'm going to go back to our exercise that I gave it to you. And I saw that, at least, maybe 10 or 11 brothers and sisters, they have tried to do the exercise. If you haven't done so, you can do it tonight or maybe tomorrow. That's fine. It's just for the practice. So I'm going to stop sharing this screen. I'm going to bring this exercise on the screen, and then we'll go through it. And if you have any question, because you already get your score, okay? So if you know something that is wrong or you don't understand yet, then please stop and ask me, okay? And I'm trying to explain that one. So let's go back to our exercise now. So I'm going to stop sharing this screen, and I will be sharing the other screen. So give me 1 second. Here. Let me know if you can see the screen. I think you all can see the screen, right? Okay. So all these examples were in English, obviously. So we're just trying to find out what is the Rafa, Nasab, and Jar, depending on the definition that we learn. So Yusuf is a messenger of Allah. So Yusuf is a messenger of Allah. There's no action in this sentence. Yusuf is not doing anything here, right? It's just a statement, right? So by default, Yusuf also is a name also. And we know anybody's name is it's an ism, and it's Rafa status. By default, it's Rafa, right? Messenger. So messenger is also, it's a word here, and by default it's Rafa, because there's no reason to be for Nasab or Jar. Okay. Of Allah. The word Allah comes after of. Anything that comes after of is Jar. Okay, and that's why the Jar is there. Okay, so the Yusuf and messenger, these 2 words are Rafa status because there's no action here, there's no details here. Okay, so by default Yusuf is Rafa. The word messenger means, what is messenger means, right? Rasul. Okay, so that is also Rafa because there's no reason for Nasab or Jar. The word Allah, why it is Jar? Because it comes after of. So messenger of who? Messenger of Allah. The messenger belongs to Allah, right? So that's why the of Allah, the word Allah, here the status of the word Allah is Jar. Okay, I hope, is everybody clear on that? If not, if you have made a mistake, if you don't understand, please unmute yourself and just tell me, brother, why this is that. Okay, please ask question. Don't worry, okay? Number 2, his Quran memorization of Fajr is going very well. Okay, his Quran memorization. Okay, so the word his is actually after of. How? Because his is a possessive pronoun. Okay, so Quran memorization of his, we can say it in a proper English, his Quran memorization. So this Quran memorization, whose Quran memorization? Belongs to who? Belongs to his. Okay, although there's no of in this example, but still it's a relationship. Any kind of possessive pronoun like his pen, my house, your car, okay, all this kind of possessive pronoun actually is a in jar status because it belongs to that person. So if I say my car, okay, or my Quran, right, instead of saying my Quran, I can say Quran of mine. Okay, although in regular English we don't talk like that, but it's the same thing. Quran of his, Quran of mine. Okay, so just like that here, although there's no of, but the his is jar status here. Okay, Fajr again is also jar. Why? You can easily see the word Fajr comes after the word of. Okay, and the word Quran is Rafa because this is the default status. Default status, there's no action in this here. Is going very well, but we didn't ask anything. What is going well? Okay, or where is going well? We didn't say that. So the Quran, the word Quran is here, is the Rafa status. Okay. Kamal went to the masjid of Sydney yesterday. So Kamal is the person, and here we have a action actually. Kamal did something. He went to the masjid, right? So there is an active verb here. Went is the active verb here, right? So Kamal is the doer. Who went there? Kamal. So this is Rafa. Where did it Kamal went? He went to the masjid. So that's why the masjid is nasab here. Okay. And the word Sydney comes after of. Masjid of Sydney. So that's why it's jar. Okay. When did Kamal go there? Yesterday. So that's another detail. So where and when is here. Where did he go? He went to the masjid. When did he go? Yesterday. So these two is nasab status because they are details, and Sydney is the jar status. Okay, Sydney is the jar status. Okay, because it's after the of. The word of is right here. You can see the word of. Okay. Number 4. He took a bus from the station quickly. Okay, so that he took a bus. What did he take? A bus. So there's action here also. Just like he went to masjid, he took a bus, right? He took a bus. So what did he take? A bus. So this is the nasab details. How did he take it? Quickly. So this is also nasab because it's asking the question where and how and okay. And he here is Rafa because who did the job? Who took the bus and everything? He is the doer. So the word he is the doer. So he is Rafa in this case. Okay. Rasul gave us his direction correctly. I think this question has a wrong answer, so one of the sister pointed it out. I fixed it here now. So who gave us the directions? Here also we have an active verb here, gave, right? We have active verb. So who gave this direction? Rasul. So he is the word Rasul is the Rafa. What did he give us? He gave us direction. So that is nasab. So it's a details. Okay, you can ask the question. Okay, his direction. Direction belongs to who? His. So the word his is jar. Just like his Quran memorization before. So this is also jar. Okay. How did he give the direction? Correctly. Okay. So correctly is again an adverb in English, and every adverb, and it's how did he give the direction? So it's again it's nasab. Okay. We prayed at the Masjid of Perth yesterday, which is very similar to the previous one. So who did pray? We pray. Who prayed? We prayed. So we are the doer of the sentence. So this is Rafa. Where did we pray? In part. Okay. But the word part comes after of. So that's why it's jar. Okay. When did we pray? Yesterday. So that's the detail. So that is nasab. Okay. Number 7 question is just true and false of whatever we learned. So a word that starts with al must be an ism. Yes, it is true. Okay. There is exception, okay, 1 or 2, but it's in generally it's 99.99% times it's true. Fail may also start with al. No, fail cannot start with al. Okay, so this is false. Generally, tanween indicates that the word is harf. No, tanween meaning double kasra, double fatha, double dhamma, which we call jer, jabr, pesh. Okay, double of them is tanween sound like. Okay, it doesn't indicate harf. It indicates it's an ism. We will learn this with in the clue of ism, right? Every ism has 4 properties. Yes, that is true. The status of an ism can be of 4 kinds. No, can be of 3 kinds. Rafa, Nasab, and Jar, like we did before, right? So Rafa, Nasab, so it's not this false. The Nasab status is the default status of an ism. No, the default status is Rafa. So this is false. Okay. When an ism comes after the word of or means a ownership, then it is in Jar status. Yes, it is true. And we have seen few examples on the top, right? Both adjective and adverb comes under ism kinds of words in Arabic. Yes, we already say that, any kind of adjectives and adverb comes under ism. These are all part of ism. Okay. Harf is very similar to English preposition. Yes, it is true. It is true. Okay, and we have it in the slide. The details found from the question who, what, when, where, how is usually in Rafa status. No, they're usually in Nasab status. So this is false. This is false. Okay. So I hope I know some of you made some mistakes, and I hope it is all clear now. Any question on this one? No? Okay. So I'm going to stop sharing this, and we'll go back to our slides. Okay. Okay, someone raised a question. Sister, if you have a question, please you can unmute and ask.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum
Can you
salam.
hear me? Yeah.
Yes, yes.
I wanted to ask, is the question who belongs to Nasab or it belongs to Rafa?
The question who actually it depends how you asking the question. Okay, so suppose if I say I gave you $10. Okay, so who gave I. So you can see I did the job. So in that case, it's Rafa. But again, the same who can be used if I say, who did I give the $10? Okay, so I give Abdullah $10. Okay, who did I give the $10? Abdullah. But Abdullah here is the who for the action has been done to him. Okay, so Rafa is the one. If you see an active verb, you have to find out who's doing the verb, who's the doer, then it's Rafa. Other than that, every question, who, where, what, okay, it is Nasab. Okay, so the who question, I know why you asked the question, because who could be both, who did the job, who gave the money. Okay, in that case it's Rafa, because you can see the who did the job. But then if I ask, who did he give the money, who did he help, okay, who did he went with in the market, okay, all this question is Nasab. Okay, it's Nasab. Okay. Okay, I think if that's the question, then let's go to the next lesson. Now,
I have
yes,
another question.
yes, sure.
So in English, we have subject and object kind of, right? Like I
Yes.
gave money to my brother.
Mhm.
So here the object here, another person will be still the details.
Yes, yes, correct. That's
Yeah.
correct. Yeah. So usually you're right. So in English, usually the subject is the doer. Subject is the doer. Okay. But in so what you're saying as of to now is correct. Okay. But there is a problem in Arabic because all this example were in English because all of us know English. All of us know the meaning of each of the word. So okay, prayed, masjid, yesterday, Sunday, went, give. We all know that, okay? And usually in English, usually normal English, we always say the subject first, right? So, I gave money to my brother. So I is the doer. It's very simple. Always I comes. Yeah, sometimes the passive sentence, the subject is, omitted or something. But in most cases comes. But Arabic doesn't work like that, right? So we have done the examples in English to understand the concept. Now we have to find a clue how we can see this in Arabic. Okay, because it is easy for us in English because all of us know English, more or less, right? So we can easily see what is subject, what is object. Okay, so let's go to a lesson 2 today, inshallah, and then let's try to find out. Okay, so if you look at this sentence, okay, the teachers help the students. And if I ask you, I know all of you can answer that. Who is the doer here? The teachers. Who helped teachers? Okay. Like the other sister asked both questions, and who did they help? The students. So the subject is the teacher. In this case, the teacher, we say they are Rafa. They are Rafa because they did the job. Helped is the fail. Okay. Helped is the action, the main action. Okay. And who did they help? They help the students. So students are the Nasab. So the teachers help the students. Okay. Now, if I translate this in Arabic, okay, in English, even if you ask maybe 8 years old, they can able to say that, okay, the teachers is help. So they are the subject, they are the doer in this sentence. And the students, they have received the help from teachers. So they are the details actually, right? It's very easy to say. In Arabic, so this is the Rafa, Nasab and Fail. The same thing, if we change in English, the students help the teacher, okay, we just swap the thing, okay, so the subject change, and in this case, the students become Rafa, fail is still the fail, and teachers become Nasab, because it's completely two different meaning, right? In the first one, the teacher is helping the student, okay, and the second one, the students, and that's why the first example, the teacher is Rafa, and the second example, the students are the Rafa. In English, it is easy to see because we can see they change their position. The teacher, the word, the teacher was at the beginning of the sentence because they were the subject. When we move to the end and bring the students at the beginning, so they become the subject and they become Rafa. But if you see the Arabic of this is the Arabic of this. And the same sentence can be written in Arabic in three different ways. And it's meaning the same. Al-Mudarrisuna means teachers, the teachers. Saada means to help, okay? And At-Tullaba means students. So if I say Al-Mudarrisuna Sa'ada Tullaba, meaning the teachers help the students. If I say Sa'ada Al-Mudarrisuna Tullaba, that also means the teachers help the students. If I say At-Tullaba Sa'ada Al-Mudarrisuna, that also means the teachers help the students. Now just concentrate and see the Arabic. Only three words in Arabic here, right? And they're changing their position. The first one look like the English. The teachers is the first, help is the second word, students is the third word. But in the second one, the word help come before, teacher went in the middle, student is still sitting at the end. The third one, the student came at the beginning, help in the middle, teachers went at the back. So in Arabic, the word sequence does not matter. So the word, the subject can be sitting at the beginning, in the middle, or at the end. That's the problem. If it is like English, then at least we could have said, oh, okay, the first word will be the subject. At least that's the possibility. No, we cannot say that in Arabic. Okay. Same here. If you look at this one here, the students help the teachers. Okay. It can be the same. Then how are we going to know who's the subject, who's the teacher? Okay. To know this in Arabic, okay, English is easier in these terms because you can see the subject and you know the meaning, okay. But what is the problem with Arabic? We don't know because the word sequence, it doesn't matter. Okay, mostly, in most cases, how will you know the status? How are you going to know who's doing the job, who helped, the teachers or the students? It's so confusing, okay. So to do that, we need to learn a chart. And if you know this chart, then you can easily find by looking at a word, you can say if this word is a rafa or nasab or jar. So there are some clues and we're going to learn this clue. To learn this clue, before we learn this clue, okay, so how to find the status, okay? Is it a rafa status? I mean, is it the doer or is it the details or is it jar something? So to know this, we need to know some prerequisites, okay? We need to memorize a chart, one chart with 4 versions, okay? So this week, I mean, today, inshallah, we're going to talk about the same chart, version 1 and version 2. Next week, we're going to talk about version 3 and version 4. All of them are very similar. That's why it's one chart, but they have 4 different versions. Okay, we have to memorize them and understand that chart. Okay, and that is the first and most important lessons of learning isms, understanding this chart. To understand this chart, before we show you the chart, we need to know a few things. Okay, we know that every ism has 3 kinds of status: doer, details, and after of. This is we did in lesson 1, week 1, right? We also need to know every ism has 2 kinds of gender in Arabic, masculine and feminine. We'll have a full lesson on gender within next 4 or 5 weeks times. But to understand this chart, you need to know this, that every word in Arabic, okay, has a masculine or a feminine. It could be either masculine or feminine. It's not like English. For example, if I ask you, what is the gender of your mobile phone? You would say, brother, are you crazy? There's no gender for mobile phone. It's a thing. It's a neutral thing. It is a it. It is inanimate. It doesn't have a life. Okay. So in English, there's something called masculine, something called feminine, and then something called neutral. Okay. So neutral has no gender basically, right? But in Arabic, it's not like that. Every word in Arabic must have a gender. Either it's masculine or feminine. Doesn't matter what that word means. It could be a book, it could be sun, it could be moon, it could be water, it could be a man, it could be a female, it could be a cow, it could be an ant, a spider, doesn't matter. Everything, every word must have a gender, masculine or feminine, from the grammatical point of view, not from the biological point of view. Because if you say this to a scientist that, okay, the book has a gender, they'll say you must be gone crazy, okay? But in Arabic grammar and in Arabic language, it has a gender, okay? So every ism either is masculine or feminine. So you just know that one. It's very simple to understand, okay? And as I said, we're going to talk about gender, a full chapter on gender in coming weeks once we finish our status, because gender is one of the 4 properties of our ism, right? Status, number, gender, and type. Also, every ism in Arabic has 3 kinds of number. In English, we have 2 kinds of numbers, singular and plural. In English, if we have one book, we say a book, that's a singular. Okay. If I have 2 books, then it's books. It's plural. If I have 200 books, it still is plural, right? In Arabic, it's a bit different. In Arabic, singular is 1. Dual is a pair. So anything, if you have 2 of them, they have a special number. It's called dual or pair. Okay. More than 2 is plural. More than 2, meaning 3 or more is plural in Arabic. Okay. So you need to know this 2 information about gender and number. And again, about the number, we're going to talk a lot about number. We'll have a full session about number in coming weeks, because number is also one of our properties of the ism, right? So we're going to talk about the number. So for now, before we learn those charts, we need to remember these 3 things. What is the 3 things? One that we learned last week, that Rafa, Nasab, and Jar, the 3 status of an ism. Okay, we have two genders, masculine and feminine. So either masculine or feminine. Okay, it cannot be two together, obviously, either masculine or feminine. And numbers are three kinds of number: singular, dual, and plural. Singular, dual means dual, two. Anything more than two is plural. Okay, so these three things you must remember before we learn those. Learn that what do you call that? The chart. Okay. Now we have two clues to find the status of an ism. We have two clues. When you look at a word, when you look at an Arabic word in the Quran, and if it's an ism, and for the time being, just imagine everything is ism, because we don't know anything about fail. We only know fail means verb. That's what we know. There's two things we know, like only one sentence we know about fail means verb, very similar to like an action. So imagine everything is in ism in your world right now. Okay, every ism has can give you two clues to find the status of the ism, either by the sound of it, the ending sound. How does it the word sound? Is it a oo sound or a sound or e sound at the end? That's why it's an ending sound. Or if it has a sound, that's a combined sound. It's combination of two letters at the end. So these are the two things. Okay, I'll show you the charts and it will be more clear to you, inshallah ta'ala. Okay, so there's two clues to find the status of an ism. Okay, let's look at this chart. So this is the chart I'm talking about. This chart has four versions: masculine version, feminine version, and there's other two which we're going to talk about next week, inshallah. Okay, so if you see this one, we picked a word called Muslim because alhamdulillah we're all Muslim, right? So if the word ends with the sound, Muslimun, if you see a word, any word in the Quran that has like this Muslimun, okay, the sound at the end, it could be Salihun, it could be Tayyibun, it could be Kitabun, okay, anything with sound. Sound, how does it sound comes? With the two Dhamma, or in Urdu or Bangla we call Pesh, two Pesh at the end. This is Tanveen, right? So this is Ism. If it is then it's Rafa and it is singular. It is singular and Rafa. If it is an Musliman, then it is Nasab and singular. If it is Muslimin, then it's Jar. It is Jar. Okay. So again, Muslimun, if you see the word Muslimun means it's one Muslim, singular Muslim, and his status is Rafa, meaning he's doing something, he's the doer, or he's the default. So if I say a Muslim is a good person, a Muslim is a good person. The word a Muslim, imagine the exercise you did just before, right? If I say, what is the status of a Muslim? You say this is Rafa because by default is Rafa. So what will be the Arabic word for that? A Muslim is Muslimun, because Muslimun means one Muslim in the Rafa status. If the word somehow is Musliman, then it's one Muslim, still one Muslim, okay, in Nasab status. For example, if I say Abdullah helped a Muslim, Abdullah is the guy who helped, who did the jobs. He's the Rafa. Who did he help? He helped a Muslim. So the word a Muslim in this example is details. So who did Abdullah help? A Muslim. And the word will be Musliman because Nasab. Okay. If I say house of a Muslim is clean, the house of a Muslim, house of a Muslim, anything that comes after of is jar. In that case, that word, Arabic word for that will be Muslimin. So Muslimun, Musliman, Muslimin. This is the first column of this chart. Okay, so on the right hand side, you can see the status, Rafa, Nasab, and Jar, and this is the masculine chart. Okay, so all this word means masculine. Okay, Muslimun meaning one Muslim man, male. Okay, so one Muslim man. Musliman is also mean one Muslim man, but which status? Nasab status. Muslimin is means here the one Muslim, but in the Jar status. If I go to the second one, and if you see the sound here, ending sound, these are the ending sound. Rafa, an, nasab, in, jar. An, in. And Arabic only had these three sound. There's no other sound. Okay, because we only have three haraka. Okay, u, a, and e. So it could be an, and in. So is Rafa, an is nasab, in jar. If I go to the dual column, because we know we have three numbers in Arabic: singular, dual, and plural. If you look at the dual one, the first word is Muslimani. Muslimani. The ma has a, little bit long because there's alif in there. Muslimani. So mim and then alif and then nun. Muslimani. And Muslimani means two Muslim in Rafa status. So if I say again, two Muslim went to masjid. So they are the one who did the job. Two Muslims went to masjid. Or if I say, both Muslims went to masjid. So in that case, the word for both Muslims or two Muslims will be Muslimani because they are in Rafa status. Mani is a Rafa status. Muslimaini, okay, so Iya and Nun is Nasab status, and Muslimaini, the same word is also for Jar status. Now, you may say that, Muslimaini is also Jar, Muslimaini is also Nasab. So how am I going to distinguish? For now, don't worry about it because we're going to know how to distinguish that in future lesson. For now, you remember Muslimaini means it could be Nasab or it could be Jar. So if I give you the word Muslimaini or any similar word that ends with this combination, Aini combination, your answer, and if I ask you, brother, what is the status of this word that ending with Aini? Your answer should be Nasab or Jar. Nasab or Jar. So if you look at this, these are called combination. Why they are called combination? Because there's two letters at the end, Alif and Nun, Ya and Nun, Ya and Nun. Okay, so the first one is Ani. Okay, so the Muslim, the word Muslim has four letters actually, Mim, Sin, Lam, and Mim. Anything after this four letter is an extra letter. Those are the combination. Okay, so the main word Muslim has four letters, Mim, as you can see in the skin, Sin, Lam, and Mim. Okay, anything that comes after that, there's two more letters after that, Alif and Nun in the Rafa status, Ya and Nun in the Nasab status, Ya and Nun in the Jar status. These combination, because there's two letters, so we cannot say the sound, okay? It calls combination. Ani combination, Aini combination, and Aini combination. So this means Aini or Ani means they are in the dual column. Ani means Rafa, and Aini means Nasab and Jar. Aini means Nasab and Jar. Okay, let's look at the third column, which will be the column for plural. Okay, the plural column, the word for more than two Muslims in the Rafa, so it's 3 or 4 or 300 or 3000, okay, many Muslims, okay, is called Muslimuna. Muslimuna, there's a Muslimu and then Wa and Nun, Muslimuna. And the word for Nasab and Jar, both of them is Muslimina. Here also, we can see the combination. Again, the main word Muslim is four letters, Mim, Sin, Lam, and Mim. But you can see there's a Wa and Nun, Una, okay? And then Muslimina, okay? Ina. So it is Mim and then Ina. And then again Muslimina, Ina, okay? So Una is for Rafa and Ina is for Nasab and Ina is for Jar. Again, Nasab and Jar is the same here. They sound same. And again, I know you have the question, if they're same, then how I'm going to know that this is Nasab or this is Jar? We'll know when the time comes. Just have patience. Inshallah, we'll know when the time comes, okay? So this chart, this should be in your head as like a stamp. So you just close your eyes and you know this chart, okay? Singular, so there are three columns in the chart. Singular, dual, and plural. How many rows in the chart? 3 rows. Rafa, Nasab, and Jar. You understand column and rows, right? Everybody understand column and rows, right? In the first column, singular column, we have Muslimun, ending sound, un, okay? Then Musliman, Nasab, Muslimin is Jar. Okay, un and in. Rafa, Nasab, Jar. In the dual column, first one is ani. Do not forget the dual and plural is combination. They are not ending sound. They are not ending sound. Okay, because the main word is 4 letters. The addition of the last 2 letters is giving them as the status. Those are the letters telling us that whether it's dual, whether it's plural, whether it's Rafa, whether it's Nasab, whether it's Jar. So they are extra, they are combination. Okay, so ani is dual Rafa, or you can say 2 Rafa. 2 means dual, right? So 2 Rafa. Aini is 2 Nasab or 2 Jar. Una at the end is our plural and it is Rafa. And Ina is either Nasab or Jar in the plural column. Okay, so this is again, this chart, brothers and sisters, is very, 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 very important. Okay, you must understand and completely grasp it. Okay, so if you understand, then it's easy for you memorize. It only has 9, what you can say, like 9 section, like that 9, places. Okay, it's like a graph. It's like an Excel chart, right? Singular has 3, dual has 3, plural has 3. What are those 3? Rafa, nasab, and jar. In singular, we have un and in sound. In dual, we have ani, aini, ani, and una, ina, ina. Simple is that. Okay, so it is the masculine chart. The same chart we can see for a feminine as well. Okay, before I go to the feminine, we should know that when in Arabic something is in masculine and something in plural. So if we say something in masculine plural, it is called inclusive plural. What does that mean? So if I say Muslimun, if I say in my Zoom class, there are 12 Muslim brothers and sisters. Okay, in my class, so I have maybe 3 sisters and maybe 9 brothers. Okay, the word I should use for them is Muslimuna. Muslimuna, the plural word, the plural masculine, includes men and women together. If I had only 10 brothers, no sisters, at that time also I could have used Muslimuna. So masculine in Arabic means only masculine or masculine and feminine together, exclusive. Okay. When you go to feminine chart, which I'm going to show you in the next slide, that only for feminine. There's no place for masculine there. So feminine plural is only for feminine only. So if I have 5 sisters in a class, only sisters, then I have to use a different word. I cannot use the Muslimuna word. I have to use a different word because that's a feminine word. Okay, masculine word only for masculine and also can include men and women. And that's why most of the time, when Allah give us instruction in the Quran, O Muslim, listen to this, O Muslim, do this, okay? It includes man and feminine together. If Allah wants to say something specially to the women, then Allah will mention that only for the women. And inshallah, in coming weeks, I'll show you examples from the Quran and how it has been used. Okay. For now, this is the chart. Let's look at the feminine chart, which is very similar actually. The feminine chart is Muslimatun. If you see the word Muslimatun, you can see is extra letter is called ta marbuta. It's not a normal ta. Normal ta is alif ba ta with a 2 dot. This is small ta, which looks like a hijab. Okay, so it's like a hijab thing. So it's the indication of a feminine word. Any word in the Quran, listen to me carefully. Any word in the Quran that has ta marbuta like this is a feminine word. It's a feminine word. Ta marbuta indicates feminine word. Okay, and that's why all the feminine name before, okay, like we have name like Fatima, Aisha, right? So all this name, if you look at the names in Arabic, you will see this. The name actually is Fatima too. There's a ta marbuta then. We don't say it, we don't pronounce it. Aisha too, okay, Khadija too, okay. There's a ta marbuta there, okay. But in classical Arabic, there are men also who had name with the ta marbuta, but they are not in the Quran, so we don't have to worry about that because we are learning the Arabic of the Quran, right? So here, the word, the Rafa word, we had Muslimun. Here we have Muslimatun. Okay, so because of a feminine, so Muslimatun means one sister, one Muslim lady in Rafa status. Muslimatan, like we have Musliman there, is one sister in Nasab status, and Muslimatin is one Muslim sister in Jar status. Okay, so Tun, Tan, and Tin. Okay, and the Ta marbuta is an indication, it's a feminine word. It's a feminine word. Okay, there are other ways of also feminine words, and we're going to learn about it when we're going to talk about gender. But if you see a ta marbuta, definitely it's a feminine word. There are other words, so not all feminine word has ta marbuta, but the words that has ta marbuta is definitely a feminine word. Okay, but there are other words without ta marbuta. Okay, but that is also feminine. For example, I'm just giving it away now. The word for sun. Anybody know what is the word for sun in Arabic? What is the word? Sorry.
Shams.
Oh, Shams.
Sun. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. No, it's not sun, S-O-N, sun, it's S-U-N, yeah. So Shams. The word Shams has no ta marbuta. Because there's a surah called Surah Shams, right? But word Shams actually is a feminine word, okay, because the son is feminine, considered feminine, okay. So we're going to learn about those later, inshallah. But for now, anything with ta marbuta is a feminine word. And as you can see here, the sound is still the same, just like the masculine, so un and in. Un means rafa, an means nasab, and in means jar. The dual one also very similar to that one. It has, again, the word Muslim has 4 words, mim, sin, lam, and mim. But here we have a ta, alif, and nun. So tani and tiny. If you see muslimatani is rafa, meaning 2 Muslim ladies in rafa status. Muslimataini, ta, ya, and nun, tiny. The tiny is nasab, okay? And muslimataini again jar. So tani is rafa, tiny is nasab, and tiny is jar, okay? For the plural column, it's a little bit different in the plural column. If you see that, it's muslimatun. Now we have a normal ta. This is not a ta marbuta. This is the alif ba ta, that ta. Okay, and it is alif and then ta, muslimatun. So there's a and tun. Okay, muslimatin and muslimatin. Okay, the last column, the plural column, is the column which confuse on a lot of brothers and sisters, and I'm telling it from the experience, because it looks the same as the first one. If you look at the first word in the singular column, muslimatun, and if you say muslimatun, they sound very similar. Where is the difference? There's 2 differences. Number 1, there is an extra alif before the ta, which we don't have in singular. Also, the last letter is different. This is ta marbuta, and that is normal ta. Okay, so please be careful about this singular and the plural. Again, I'm saying it. Muslimatun has no alif. So you say it in one go, muslimatun. But the plural one is muslimatun. Okay, you elongate the ma, okay? Because there's alif there. You can see the alif there, right? So atun is rafa, and atin is ja. Okay, so these are the 2 versions of the chart. Now, if we see next slides, I'm going to put both the masculine and feminine. So on the left hand side, you have the masculine one, and the right hand side, the feminine one. Okay, I'm just writing the same word in English for to make it easy for you. If you can see that, so muslimun, musliman, muslimin, muslimani, muslimaini, muslimaini, muslimuna, muslimina, muslimatun, muslimatan, muslimatin, muslimatani, muslimataini, muslimataini, muslimatun. That's why I put 3a here. See, muslimatun, to make it long sound, okay? Muslimatin and muslimatin, okay? So this is both chairs at the same go. If I say, just let's do some exercise, and inshallah with this we're gonna finish. I'm not gonna do any exercise, but because I want you to understand first. And inshallah in the exercise in the WhatsApp group, I will send you a link so you can do some exercise just like you did for this one, okay? If I say this one, a Muslim woman traveled, okay? First tell me, tell any of you, whoever can unmute yourself, a Muslim woman travel. Is the word Muslim woman, is it Rafa, Nasab, or Jar here? The English
Rafa.
word, Rafa, okay? So what word, what Arabic word from the chart I should take to replace this English word? From the feminine chart, which word should I take to replace this, a Muslim woman?
Muslimatun.
Muslimatun, because that's the Rafa here, okay? That's the Rafa here. Next one, the religion of a Muslim is Islam. Okay, the religion of a Muslim. Okay, any other brother can please unmute yourself. Brother Ashfaq, you wanna do this, please? Yeah, unmute yourself, Brother Ashfaq, if you're here. No, I think he's not there. Brother Mizan, you wanted to try that?
Muslimun.
Okay, so now before you answer that, look at the sentence in English. The Muslim, the religion of a Muslim. So the underlined word is Muslim, right?
After all.
What is the status? Rafa, Nasab, or Jar?
After all, yeah.
So
Okay.
it is Jar, and it is
Singular.
Singular.
Muslimin.
So now, yes, Muslimin. And
Muslim.
which chart we are going? Are we going to masculine chart or feminine chart? Because I didn't mention any
Masculine, because
masculine, because I didn't mention any feminine thing here. So by default, we guess it's a Muslim man we're talking about. Okay. So yes, so we have to use the third word from the masculine chart in the singular column, Muslimin. Okay, Muslimin. So the word will be Muslimin here. Okay. The next one, let's see. Next one. I met a Muslim. Okay, let's see. Maybe Brother Muhammad Haq, you want to unmute yourself? Yes.
So it should be Musliman.
Musliman. Yes, very good. Musliman from the math. Because why? Because what's the status here?
So
Is
that's
it Raf?
Nasab.
Nasab. Why Nasab, brother? Can you explain? We don't understand what is Nasab means.
That's the detail of the sentence.
Yes.
So who I meet? So that's I meet a Muslim.
Very good, brother. You got 100 out of 100. Excellent. Good answer. Thank you. Okay, next one. The house of a Muslim woman is clean. Okay, let's take a sister to answer this. Sister Nargis, if you can unmute yourself. Is it Nargis? Yes, I think so. The name is Nargis. Yes, sister.
Yeah,
The
Muslim.
house of a Muslim woman. Of a Muslim. So first, tell me, is it Rafa, Nasab, or Jar?
It's jar.
Jar. Why?
It's the word after of.
Very good. Okay, now, so if it is Jar and it is Omen, so we should go to, and it's a Omen, singular column in feminine chair. So which will be the word?
Yeah, Muslimatin.
Muslimatin, the one with the tamar. With the excellent, sister. Thank you so much. Okay. Next one. Two Muslim traveled. Okay, let's see who can say this to us. Someone named Nahid. I'm not sure if it's brother or sisters. Because Nahid could be anybody's name. So if you can unmute yourself, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, sister, your sister. So, two Muslim travel. Two Muslim travel.
Okay.
So is the word two Muslims, is it Rafa, Nasab, or Jar? They
I'm not
traveled.
sure.
So they,
Yeah,
so they did the job, right? So they are the doer,
so
right? So they
it should be Rafa.
Rafa, okay. And there, because I didn't mention any feminine thing, so let's guess they're masculine, okay? So if it is Rafa and there are two of them, which chart and which column should I look for the Arabic word?
So we look at the masculine chart for dual.
Dual. And what you said, Rafa, so what will be the word?
Muslimani.
Muslimani. Excellent. Muslimani. Exactly. So Muslimani. Okay. Okay. I think I have the last one. No, I think that was the last one. Okay. So that's fine. So this is, but this is not the exercise. So we're gonna do next week. We're gonna deal more and more exercise. So more words. So we'll just give you the word and you have to see it and look at it. Okay. So for now, again, I'm finishing this with the understanding. So you can see the two charts, masculine and feminine chart, and they all go by the sound or ending combination. Now, before I finish, because I have only a few minutes, when I give you a word in the exercise, so for example, if I give you a word solihun, or maybe I give you a word called, muttaqina, hudal lil muttaqina, as we said in the beginning of the Quran, right? Muttaqina. You always look at the word and look at the end of the word, okay? And look for combination first. So your target, when you look at a word, either is dual or plural. That's your first goal. So you try to find the combination first. And we have only four combination in masculine side and 4 combination in feminine side. What is the combination? Ani or aini for dual column, una or ina. In the feminine side, we have tani or tiny, atun or atin. So you look for this one first. Don't go for the sound first. Oh, just because it's then it's Rafa. No. Your target, when I give you a word in the exercise, you look, do I see any ani at the end, meaning alif and nun at the end, or aini at the end, or atun at the end. So we have in total of 4 and 4, 8 combination. Ani, aini, una, ina. Tani, tiny, atun and atin. Okay. If you don't find any of this 8 combination, then you go for sound. Oh, that means means Rafa, an means Nasab, and in means Jar. Okay. Always look for combination first in a word. Look for combination first. What are our combinations? Ani, aini, una, ina. Tani, tiny, atun, atin. That's it. Okay. So if you look for this one first, and if the word doesn't have this one, then we go for the other one. We have 2 more minutes. Just look at, I think, one more example. It is important to note that when you're determining status, you should always look for ending combination before you look for ending sound, which I just explained. Okay. For example, actually, let's go. No, not this slide. Actually, we're gonna skip this slide. Let's look at this one. Here, the first word is called katala. It's a fail. Katala means to kill someone. Okay. Then I have rajulun toiran. Rajulun, just to okay, and toiran. Now, imagine you don't know what rajulun means. I also don't know. Okay, imagine that. Okay, by looking at the word, can you tell me? And it's an ism, right? Because it's double fatha, it's a tanween. So you know that for sure. It's an ism. It's not a fail, right? It's a tanween word because it's a double, dhamma at the end. What is the status of this word? Is it rafa, nasab, or jar? Does it match any combination? Ani or aini, una or ina, atun or atin? If not, then it must be a sound. So what sound is that? Is it a un sound? Yes, go ahead.
Rafa?
It's rafa, yes, it's a un sound, rajulun. What is the sound of the next one? Toiran. Is it a rafa, nasab, or jar?
Nasab.
Nasab, yes, nasab, yes. So see, you don't know the meaning yet. Maybe you know, I'm just saying, okay? But without knowing the meaning, you know that something is rafa. So this word rajulun is the doer, and this is the detail. Katala means to kill someone or, to fight someone. Katala rajulun means the man killed. Toir means bird. The man killed the bird. The man killed the bird, okay? So here, we can see that the word rajulun, although you don't know the meaning, I told you the meaning now, but it's still the status. It's rafa and it is nasab. If you look at this one, here's two names here. Nasara is a fail, it means help. Okay, Muhammadun Solehan. So nasara means help. So someone helped someone. Okay, so there's two names here. Who helped who here? Can you tell me?
Muhammad helped to Salihan.
Soleh, yeah, because Muhammad is the Rafa status and Solehan is the Nasab status. The same thing, if I say this way now, look at this. Nasara Muhammadan Solihun. This time, Saleh helps Muhammad. This time, Saleh, because Saleh
means Rafa.
Rafa, yes, exactly. Okay, so man killed the birds. Okay, so not birds, a bird. Actually, it's a bird. Muhammad helped Soleh, and Soleh helped Muhammad. Okay, so this is how it's just a one implication and one small exercise that by looking at a word you see that. But these are sound word, ending sound, un and an sound, which are okay. We'll have many more exercise in the homework. Inshallah, I will send it in a WhatsApp group, and inshallah next week in the class also we're gonna discuss those words if you have any mistakes, and we'll do more exercise because this is the most important thing to understand these two charts, masculine and feminine chart. And there's two versions of this chart, same chart, the two more version, which we're going to talk about next week, inshallah. And we need to understand this and we need to spend some time here so that our concept is completely clear and crystal clear so that we can go to the next stage, inshallah ta'ala. So with this, I'm finishing today's session, inshallah ta'ala. Jazakallahu khairan. And if you haven't logged into or clicked on the WhatsApp group, please do that as soon as possible. So be a part of the WhatsApp group, inshallah. And I will be sending the recording to you very soon, if not tomorrow, maybe Friday morning, inshallah ta'ala. And we meet again the same time next week, Wednesday, inshallah ta'ala. So jazakallahu khairan. Subhanakallahumma bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.
Thank you, Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.